A Song in the Sky is available in English and in Lingala. This is the English episode. Previously on A Song in the Sky. Hello my friends, my name is Bénie. In the previous episode, a lot of things happened. But today, I don't have time to give you a summarized version of all the previous events. I know that you all want to know how the story ended, so let me tell you how everything did unfold that day. Junior rushed to go find Mister Shabani, and he explained everything to him just like I had told him to. Then, together, they took a cab to go downtown to the ZARNACOM studio. Oh, and they also took Junior's dog with them because they couldn't just leave him all alone at our house. When they arrived at the studio, Junior couldn't find Wilfried, but he saw Elodie, our doctor's daughter, and so he told her, "Elodie, I need to go to dressing room number 3. My sister is locked up there. The people from ZARNACOM are trying to get rid of her. And also, I need to find Wilfried. That's what Bénie told me to do." Elodie looked at him and then she said, "Wait, what? Hold on, let me go and talk to Doreen." Doreen, that's our pastor's daughter. When Elodie told her what Junior had just said to her, Doreen looked at her and then she said, "Wait, what? Hold on, let me go and talk to Wilfried." Wilfried had just gone out for a few minutes to get some fresh air before the big final. When he came back to the studio and Doreen told him what Elodie had just said to her, he said, "Oh, I knew it. I knew Bénie will not give up on the competition like that. I knew she was not sick." And then he said, "Come on, let's all go to dressing room number 3. Follow me." And so Junior, Mister Shabani, Wilfried, Elodie, Doreen, and Bablux, they all walked together to our dressing room number 3. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Bablux, that's the name of Junior's dog. He went with everyone to dressing room number 3. And you know what? On their way, they ran into Mom and Mr. Diba. They too were looking for me inside the studio, so they came along too. Junior explained to them quickly that Luxembourg's big boss had locked me inside the dressing room. And man, Mommy was not having it. She was pissed. When they all arrived in front of dressing room number 3, they saw that the door was locked. But Mister Shabani kicked it and kicked it again with all his strength until it opened. When she saw me, Mom started crying. She said, "Oh my God, what did they do to my daughter?" But I didn't even have the time to reply to her because just then, Mr. Mvula Arthur and Mr. Augustin Sergio entered the room with 3 big bodyguards. And Mr. Mvula Arthur said to them, "Now, take care of all these people, would you?" And then a general fight started. But my friends, did you know that Mister Shabani could do Kung Fu and Karate too? Just by himself, he was able to fight at least 2 bodyguards. He was kicking them in the legs. Boom! Boom! He gave them karate grips. Boom! Meanwhile, Mr. Augustin Sergio, ZARNACOM's president, was trying to attack my mom. He pushed her hard against a wall. When he saw that, Mr. Shabani got furious. He punched Mr. Augustin Sergio in the stomach and he knocked him out. Boom! And now, I know that you're wondering where Mr. Diba was, eh? He had gone to hide behind the door because he didn't know how to fight and he was scared. But even us kids, we were fighting to try to help Mom and Mr. Shabani. Even Bablux was fighting. Junior was telling him, "Bablux, go, attack, attack." and Bablox would go and bite in the legs of Mr. Mvula Arthur and Mr. Augustin Sergio. The fight was so intense and so crazy that very quickly the police showed up. Mr. Mvula Arthur, Luxembourg's big boss, pointed at Mister Shabani and told the police officers, "Arrest this man. He's a thug. He is the person responsible for all this mess." But luckily, right at the beginning of the fight, Wilfried had told Elodie and Doreen to go look for Mr. Kapenga Adolphe. Mr. Kapenga Adolphe was ZARNACOM's board chair. He would attend the live shows every year, and he was the person who would officially give the award to the winner at the end of the show. Mr. Kapenga Adolphe knew a lot of politicians in the government. He was very powerful. But he didn't know that Mr. Augustin Sergio, ZARNACOM's president, had been getting bribes from Luxembourg for years to rig the competition. He was shocked. At first, he didn't even want to believe me when I said, "Samantha is not a real singer. The competition is a scam. Mr. Shabani is innocent. Free him now." Mr. Kapenga Adolphe said, "What? What kind of nonsense is this?" He ordered Mabel, the production assistant who works for ZARNACOM and always wears a blue hat, to come to the dressing room, and he asked her, "Mabel, what is this? Do you know anything about this?" And right there, Mabel started crying. She couldn't lie anymore. She didn't have the energy for it. So she finally said, "Yes, this is true. Samantha is not a real singer. The competition is a scam." "I am so sorry." Right at that moment, Mr. Diba got out of his hiding place to say, "Yes, I saw everything. And actually, I'm the one who fought all these people by myself. They are all guilty. Arrest them." Mr. Diba? Sometimes he lies a little bit, eh? But that's another story. Let's stay on topic for now. Mr. Kapenga Adolphe, ZARNACOM's board chair, was pissed. He looked at the police officers, pointed at Mr. Mvula Arthur, Mr. Augustin Sergio, Madame Mabel, and the 3 bodyguards, and then he said, "Arrest all these people right now. I won't tolerate any cheating in our studio." He also told them to go and arrest Samantha's 2 assistants. You know, the ones who followed her everywhere and who worked for Luxembourg. Samantha was crying hard, but the police didn't arrest her since she was a minor. They just sent her back to her parents' home instead. Oh, and the police officers let Mr. Shabani go. Then, Mr. Kapenga Adolphe was so pissed that he decided to cancel the competition for this year. He said a big investigation was needed inside ZARNACOM. So, no record deal was going to be awarded this year. But when Mr. Kapenga Adolphe tried to go tell the audience that the show was cancelled, everyone in the audience started to boo him. "Boo! Boo! What is this? We won the live show! We won the live show!" So, Mr. Kapenga Adolphe decided that there was not going to be a record deal this year, but the person who had gotten the most votes will still get the $5,000 and could come back to sing in front of the audience to close the live show. And guess what? That person, that was me! I was number 1 in the vote. Me, little Bénie from Kimbanseke. But you know what? That didn't seem very fair to me anymore. Yes, I had won, but Elodie, Doreen, and Wilfried, they had really good performances too. And they all had come to my rescue earlier. Without them, I wouldn't even be here to sing. So I decided to split the reward between all of us. I kept $2,000 for me, and I gave $1,000 to Elodie, $1,000 to Doreen, and $1,000 to Wilfried. My grandmother used to say, being too greedy is not good. Sometimes you gotta learn to share the good things too. And when I went back on stage to sing my song again, I asked them all to come and sing with me. Elodie did the background vocals, Doreen played the piano, and Wilfried did some beatbox and he rapped. But before we got back on stage, we got to change our clothes because they were a little dirty after the big fight. Me, I chose to wear a pair of jeans with a white t-shirt because I like that style. But before I went on stage, Mom said to me, "Wait!" And she asked the stylist to give her a little purple star that was in their pile of clothes. She quickly sewed it to my t-shirt and then she said, "This way your outfit is complete because you are our little shining star." And then she gave me a big hug. And oh, my friends, it was so good to be back on stage with all my new friends. We had a lot of success. Then, life got back to normal in our little neighborhood. The first couple of days, everybody was talking about us. "That's the kids from the singing competition. That's the winners. Hey!" But then, after a couple of weeks, people stopped stopping us on the street. You know how it is in Kinshasa. There's always something new to talk about. But me and my new friends, we kept hanging out together. We even talked about starting a band together. We'll see how that goes. And also, guess what? Wilfried and Doreen, they like each other. The rapper and the pastor's daughter. When their parents are going to find out, they are gonna be in trouble. Speaking of parents, the other day, Mr. Diba was at our house and he told my mom, "Mama Pauline, you see everything that has happened? It's because the kids don't have any education. They take after their dad. No education. They need someone to raise them properly. They need a real man." And Mom said, "What did you say about my late husband? What did you say about my children? This time you went too far. That's the last time that you'll ever talk about my late husband." And she kicked him out of her house. So, no more dinners with ugly bird face. But you know who comes for dinner at our house all the time to come and visit us now? Mister Shabani. He and Mom get along very well. I don't know what they're up to. Oh, and also, Mom said that it was okay for Junior to keep his dog in the house. So, Bablux is not a secret dog anymore. He lives with us now. Junior is super happy about it. Oh my God. But he's still annoying. The other day, Mister Shabani came to have dinner with us with a friend of his, a journalist. I didn't know that Mister Shabani had some friends who were journalists. But he sells newspapers for a living, so maybe that's how he met them. Anyway, that journalist, his name is Mr. Albert. And he said that he wanted to interview me to discuss what happened during the ZARNACOM singing competition. He said that he was doing an investigation on Luxembourg and on ZARNACOM, and that it was going to be a big story. And I said, "An interview with me? But I don't know what to say. I have never done that." And Mr. Albert said, "Don't worry. I'm going to give you a tape recorder and you can just record yourself and retell the story. Take your time. Imagine that you're talking to a friend and that you're explaining the whole story to them." At first, I was a little reluctant. I didn't know what to say. But not long after Mr. Albert left, I took the tape recorder, I cleared my throat, I hit record and then I said, "Hello, my friends. You are not going to believe what is happening to me. A journalist, a real one, wants to interview me about my life story." Well, okay, maybe not about my whole life. They just want me to tell them about what happened to me last month. You know, at the ZARNACOM singing competition. Oh, you don't know about it yet. Where should I start? It's a long story. Mise, oh na monike, ozwaki deja, oh na ebike, okoki kosala musala nyonso, ganyaki deja, oh na ebike, nzembo, nzembo ya lola, nzembo ya lola. Nakozwa ba 100%, nako gagné 100%, nakozwa ba 100%, tout le temps. Nakozwa ba 100%, nako gagné 100%, nakozwa ba 100%, tout le temps. Miss Afrique, Miss Congo, Mwana mystique, Ozana Nzunzu, Ozana force, motema na yo est jamais féroce. Ozana barève, Ozana ambition, cerveau na yo a toujours en mission. Miss et nazo observe yo, ozwaki déjà avenir ezana yo. A Song in the Sky is a podcast series by Kwambila Productions. Written and created by Sabrina Moella. Lingala translation and assistant art direction by Mulongie Fuamba. Performances in this episode by Sabrina Moella.